We're sitting here for an hour talking about shit.
Yeah.
Hello, Josh.
Hello. I've played Undertale. Not like when it came out, but it was quite a while afterwards. But I did play all the way through at least once. That's as specific as I'm gonna get on that, but we'll get there.
Right. I've had this game for a good long time, but I just hadn't touched it really beyond maybe the first couple of minutes of the game. And so this is my real first playthrough of it. And I kind of think I messed myself up a bit just because I metagamed it a little too hard in the very beginning, and I'll tell you why once we get there.
One thing I want to point out, if you put in any of the actual characters' names in that name entry field, you'll get some kind of usually funny response.
No, I didn't know that. That's really funny. So, like, I had gotten past this, like, intro, and I had gotten past the first encounter. And going into this again, I think I kind of messed myself up because I meted it a little too hard. Because I knew exactly... I mean, the first time I played it, I knew kind of what his deal was. Since just as a gamer, you kind of understand what they're trying to do, and also you understand how he's trying to meta you, and so you try to meta him. And then going into it again, I think I messed it up. And I'll tell you what I was thinking when I got there. So I'm like, yeah, flower, da-da-da. I knew that he was going to try to show me, like, how to survive. And I understood this was sort of a combat tutorial. And I knew that he was lying and he was going to damage me. So when I'm like, alright, I know what he's doing. I'm just going to actually avoid it rather than play into what he was saying. I guess it's a he. I'm kind of gendering this flower. I'm saying, I guess it.
That's one of the things about Undertale. Very few characters have actual canon genders.
Right.
Frisk,
so like
the character you're playing, the character that you named Merrick, Frisk is
androgynous as well, right?
Androgynous, yeah. There is no gender, like, ever specifically stated.
A smart move, I think. So, like, I know, like, he's like, oh, take a hit, and it's supposed to, like, teach you, like, this is what happens in combat and stuff. But I
love the
music.
I'm just gonna... I love how
right.
the music just goes, okay, come on, really?
So I'm just gonna, like, oh, just go. I'm gonna see what happens in, like, not doing this. And so we had a brief discussion before I had started playing about pacifist playthroughs and stuff like that. I had known the idea about pacifist playthroughs and all that stuff where you don't kill anything. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to shoot for that because that's kind of what people talked about, so I'm going to give it a shot. And then this happens. And I was super worried that was going to fuck my pacifist playthrough. I was like, oh no, wait, did that just screw me over? Like, does that count as me killing somebody? Which I don't think it does, but that's what I was thinking when I got into this. Man, this person... This character...
Toriel is one of the few characters that is specifically gendered. Toriel is female.
Right. I have a weird love-hate relationship with this character that I developed over playing the first hour of this game.
Yeah, that happens.
Okay,
With a lot of the characters, you either love them or you don't.
So, this is me listening to the music, because you told me to. I get such a good Secret of Mana vibe from this.
Yeah?
This is like, this just screams Secret of Mana, like, the waterfall area, when you're, like, first exploring the area, when you finally get the sword.
Oh, yeah.
And it hits. I'm like, oh, this is Secret of Mana. And I was like, oh, I'm into this.
And now, how much do you know about the history of Toby Fox and Undertale?
Toby Fox isn't Tobuscus Toby Fox?
I think so. I actually don't know.
Very little. I know that there's a fandom for this game. I don't know
there is a huge
about it.
fandom for this game. We'll talk about that later at some point. But Toby Fox actually started this as one of the second games that he worked on. The first one was a ROM hack of Earthbound, the official, like, North American Earthbound, He worked on something based on Pinky, I think. I don't remember exactly, but it was a Halloween hack.
Okay.
And this was his second endeavor, so to speak.
I see. But I would really love to see someone play this who's literally never played video games. You know what? I would love to see Mom play this game.
That'd be interesting.
I think it would be a real fun video to see our mother play this game. Maybe that'll be like an extended feature for this. Maybe we'll get our mom to play and record it.
Bonus
That'd be awesome.
episode?
A bonus episode. We'll get our mother to record this. Because I think she'd be able to figure it out. Like, I don't think it'd be out of her means to play. But I just love to see how her...
How you want to press the other switch?
I'd love to see how it circumvents her expectations, especially since there's not a lot of biases or expectations that she has. So...
I am glad that you went and checked the other switch again.
Right? I'm a victim of having played the Stanley Parable before I played this. So a lot of what I ended up doing and the decisions I made were specifically because I was trying to circumvent what it was trying to get me to do, or circumvent the expectations that it was trying to circumvent. So I kind of almost like played against what it was trying to play against.
You played yourself weird. Trying to play the game playing you.
Yeah, basically. This is me figuring out the combat system, which I eventually get, but it's also just completely counterintuitive to most RPG combat systems, which I don't even think this game counts as an RPG, but I could be wrong. I would say it's like an adventure game, an adventure experience.
It's an adventure RPG ish.
This kind of annoyed me, because I skipped through this a bit and realized that I could have figured it out, but it was figured out for me, and I got kind of annoyed with it. It's great because there's like so much good in this game that you really like. I would have played a full-on like Final Fantasy style action game with these assets, like with a full-on combat system and all that stuff. I would have, and I would have enjoyed it because this right here, I could have figured this puzzle out, but it was figured out for me, and I was kind of bummed about that.
Do you know where the solution is?
Yeah, it's the white highlight on the room before it. And I figured that out immediately. Like I saw, like, oh, I could have figured that out on my own, and I got bummed that it was figured out for me.
Now, part of this is specifically her character.
Right, I get that too.
Yeah, this isn't just the game trying to go easy. This isn't just the tutorial. This isn't the tutorial. This is tutorial. This is
right.
Which
oh wow, I didn't.
Yeah.
That's.
Huh?
Oh, this isn't a tutorial. This is tutorial. This I love this, and I couldn't tell you why I do. And I wondered if there was anything important with the backgrounds that they were like. I was trying to see this as sort of like a film with like a really auteur artistic director.
This wasn't
where
Stanley
everything
Kubrick.
in this. Right, like I was kind of like seeing if there was anything like super important about the way they framed everything or the way the backgrounds are framed with like the weird items in it. Nothing really came about that, but I was keeping an eye out for that because I knew this game was, slightly more artistic than most.
Now, one of the opportunities that you missed was going behind the pillar from the left side and talking tutorial.
Oh, what happens?
She's like, I'm not here, or something like that.
Oh, I could see that. God, this phone thing annoyed me, but I get it too. It's an interesting means of like narrative building, I guess, or just ambiance building when.
Well, the fact that the Underground have their own cell service.
Fair enough. Early and often.
There is an achievement an achievement, quote unquote, for never saving.
Of course. Man, am I bad at this, by the way. it comes apparent how bad I am at that combat system that they have here, especially near the end of this section that I'm on. Thank you, Mr. Frog. Man, the music's good. I'm like, nope. Before it gets too hectic, I'm gonna go check out other things first. You know, the typical RPG version of check everything before moving on.
This looks like the correct path. I'm gonna go the other way.
Exactly. I think any good RPG player tends to have that kind of mentality. Oh man, I feel bad now. Knowing what happens. Knowing what I did. I'm like, huh. Just like me figuring out the menus and seeing what I can do with things. Non-licorice flavor, specifically. Me trying to figure out how to deal with it. I like how they change up the different, like, avoid mechanic stuff. Because
I don't even know.
Oh, I don't. But, like, it's a very unique, and I like that it's unique, and I like the design space that it has. And I know I'm going to get even deeper into that design space. I was so mad at that. I'm like, oh, really? And then just sort of figuring out how the whole combat system's right after that. I'm like, I'm dumb. This is me being dumb. I'm like, oh. Alright, I get it now. I'm like, alright, okay.
Ha!
Right?
That's basically what just happened.
This is fun. And now it's not helping me be any less hungry. This is where I'm like, I get the narrative space you're playing in, but I just want to play. So I wonder if this is a tension builder. I doubt it, but like you could use it to build tension probably. Just like constant, like let me do things. This made me laugh. This is like Legend of Zelda 101, and it's just like, oh yeah, 3 out of 4 rocks like being moved.
You've got a lot of very conveniently timed battles.
Is that a thing?
No, it's just coincidence.
Ah, fair enough. Because a game with the kind of depth that this has, like, it could really be, like, even the way the battles space themselves out can really make a difference, I think. On how one person experiences it versus another. I'm like, alright, let's, you know, let's figure this out. And then you're like, okay, yep, I get it.
Almost right.
Almost. Yeah, that was me figuring out, oh, I could probably just skip the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which is, I believe, exactly how the system is designed to be played. Like, you figure those little shortcuts out. And part of me is like, am I going to get this wrong? It'll be really embarrassing if I do.
Yay.
And this is the first time this happens, where there's, like, 2 different things. I'm like, alright, let's figure this out. And then the frog meowed at me. No.
Yeah, the actual, like, hitbox on your soul is, like, very, very precise. It's incredible.
It's reminiscent of bullet hell games.
That's exactly
like
what it is.
Your single pixel based, like, and I'm like, right here, I'm like, oh, 3 out of 4. I get it. And it wasn't like super funny, haha, like I got supreme enjoyment out of this. I was just like, clever. and I commend you for your cleverness. I'm like, alright, here we go. Cutscene time. Which is essentially, this is what this is. It's just a fun, clever cutscene. And I knew what was about to happen to him. Like, yep, there's that. Like, alright, okay, here we go. I love how this game has no problem annoying you.
Oh, yeah.
Ow. Back to the rock.
It fills you with determination.
Yeah, something you will eventually notice as we see more save spaces. It just finds reasons of, like, healing you. Oh, this is great.
Oh, Fluky.
This made me laugh. This legitimately, like, entertained me. I'm like, cute. I'm like, alright, I'm gonna be nice. Alright, I guess I can't be nice.
Bluky's one of my favorites.
I'm assuming that's like a Pac-Man reference.
Kind of?
Or at least an homage.
I would call it an homage.
Homage. I assume this game homages things a lot, if anything. Naps the Bluke. Checking it, just like... Checking is kind of what I was doing to be like, what do I do? Oh. I forgot how cool this music was.
Like I said, I love Naps the Bluke. All the actual, like, boss music.
Right? This screwed me over. Yep. You can tell.
Yeah, one of the things that Toby Fox did a really good job with is using and reusing the sound and music, and there are a lot of themes that are literally exactly the same. Just sped up or slowed down or...
Right.
I love how he cries himself a hat.
Egilio wigs. They make a very good job of turning mechanics
On its head.
into, not even specifically on its head, but they use it narratively. And then they build upon the change, how they changed mechanics, and then use that narratively as well. All of it's going towards building the experience of what this game is, and I think that's what was super compelling about when I played it, as well as probably what was compelling to most people playing it. That there's a very cool blending of mechanical gameplay as well as story and presentation. That it's all interconnected and compelling. God, I really wish someone throws an Alt F4 joke in this game. That would be the worst and also hilarious.
Very, it's helpful bad.
Yep. Once again, I think that was another, trying to, like, mess with your expectations. This is a first. And I'm trying to figure this guy. I was literally trying to figure this guy out for a good bit. Like,
Serving size one monster.
Like,
Time to eat.
See what it has to say.
Plants can't talk.
Like, I didn't want to devour maybe where I was going to eat it. So I was like, I guess dinner it is.
I find it interesting that you didn't pick up on the clue.
That it was telling me to eat? Or the first green thing?
Eat your greens.
See, it wasn't that I didn't pick up on it. I kind of figured, like, it was then I had it figured out. Like, oh, I should probably get the green thing. But I was so worried about avoiding things that I wasn't prepared to get something. So I was like, I didn't know if hitting the, like, I thought I had missed the green or whatever, and I didn't want to deal with it, so I moved on. Oh, this is cute. I'm like, screw it. I'm like, well, I can't afford that. Let's get that done.
Now, this is going to be a spoiler, but it's actually really good that you did that.
Oh. Well. We'll see. We'll see how good I actually do anything. Because, yeah. Oh, I like this. I like how this encounter works.
Curvaceously attractive, but no brains.
Sexy. I'm so bad at these.
Yeah, you kind of got bodied by that one.
Wiggle. Ow. Yeah, I am super bad. And I love, like, once he's alone, he's just like himself. And he's like, chill. I'm like, alright, let's just let it go. And because the power... What? What was that? I didn't notice that when I played it the first time.
I know who it is.
I'm sure you do. What the hell was that?
That
was crazy.
That is a mystery to be revealed later.
I didn't see that when I played it. That's crazy. Alright. Alright. Now I get to notice things I didn't notice before. Alright then.
All I will say is that you are being watched.
Of course I am.
Not by him.
I did not figure. What I noticed about this guy, and I don't know if it's reminiscent of any of all the characters, but like if you're on the right track, your attacks his attacks tend to be easier. Like to avoid, especially if you've done the right thing, and you still have to go through the attack animation. It was a little bit easier to do. I'm like, all right, I get it now. Oh man, this music is enjoyable.
It really is.
I'm like, I wanted to see what the thing on the ground was. That's why I went here. I'm like, oh, okay. Here we go. And I think this is when I finally start trying to get the green thing. Got it. Which is interesting, because you can literally use this as a means of, like, healing up, too.
Yeah, he was just trying to make sure you had a healthy meal.
God, it's making me hungry now. Oh yeah, I specifically wanted to see what was going on there. Ow. I'm so bad at it. So like the bug just wants to be alone, and the Jello just isn't. It's just literally a Jello.
Yeah, pretty much.
And in the context of this game, that just makes sense. Like that's just okay. But anywhere else, you'd be like, "What is going on?"
Oh, poor Bluky.
figured I'm gonna go 100% on this. Just trying to get everything. That ends quickly. I think I just started enjoying myself rather than trying to, you know, power game the whole thing. I'm assuming there's a speed run of this game.
Oh, definitely.
With like...
Now, when we talked about this before you started, you know, I mentioned that there were 3 ways to play and then a 4th semi-official way. That 4th way is the is one of the bigger speedrunning categories.
I see.
It has an official name. I'm gonna call it the 199% version.
Got it. Oh, I love this puzzle, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I love this puzzle. It's super sweet and super to the point, and like, once again, has fun with your expectations. I'm like, I didn't want to press anything right away just because I wanted to see what was going on in the room. Ow. Completely just negated the whole thing. Like, alright. I'm like, I get it now. And then this, I'm like, oh, okay, I see exactly what's going on now. I was super involved. I was super in on it at this point.
Now it makes sense.
In unison now. That was a cool maneuver, if I do say so myself. Getting past that. Cha 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 cha. Oh, now I'm really curious about what the like the killing run would look like, because I wonder what XP does in this game. Assuming I get it if I kill something.
The genocide run is very, very different.
Oh, I'm sure. That'll be fun to check out later down the line.
There are going to be questions that are going to be raised, and I specifically will not answer them.
That is fine. I wouldn't want it any other way, to be honest. Oh. Hey, you got that gold, though. Gold seems to be fairly easy to get in this game.
Yes and no.
And instead of being, like, smart and going to check it out, I guessed. I was like, maybe if I press it, and I guess I have to see that sign for it to work. Which, you know, is exactly how it says. Easy fix.
Yeah.
Certainly not a punishing puzzle to get wrong.
No.
I don't know what I was doing there.
You were punishing yourself by putting yourself in the corner?
I suppose. I decided that way first. Then I decided, I was like, oh, wonderful.
This conversation changes based on whether you're injured or not.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And here comes the second half of this first video. I was freaking out because it was around this time I started not trusting her. I couldn't tell you why. No, I'll tell you exactly when I started not trusting her. Like, I didn't know exactly. It felt too normal, quote unquote. And I'm like, all right, something's up. Like, my alarm bell started going off, and so I checked the room out. and it was here. I was like, is she eating children? This is amazing, by the way. Loved that. So cool.
Now
that's the definition of production value, by the way.
There's a detail in here that is a little bit of foreshadowing.
Huh. I was like exploring now. Oh, I didn't trust the cake because I thought the cake was gonna kill me. The pie. I was on the she eats children's thing going at this time. And so I thought if I took the pie, it was gonna kill me, or like it was gonna make me fall asleep and I was gonna die. So weird.
There was some more foreshadowing in that room too.
Oh, I'm sure I missed all of it. Because I couldn't think of any of it now, knowing a little bit what I know now.
It's you.
Oh, I loved that. I think I was showing Alex that little scene right there because it made me laugh, and I thought she would find it cute. She was walking behind me at the time. Like, look, it's me. And she's like, it's you. Now I'm just exploring.
Still.
Right. I was assuming, like, oh, she's gonna eat me. I was like, oh, if I make her mad, she's gonna eat me. So I'm not gonna make her mad. I think that was what that had to. I was pushing it, and then I was like, I'm not gonna make her mad no more. Yes, this was also me not making her mad. I'm like, sure, I'll make you happy and appease you because I don't want you to eat me. And to be fair, she is pretty cute. Just like a precious mother figure. Yeah, that's what that was. Bother.
Yeah, Toriel is... I don't really know how to categorize her.
She is she doesn't have many surprises, if any. But I feel she is the first and probably the last known quantity in this game. Or at least safe quantity. That, judging what I know from, the next couple of minutes of what's going to happen and what I assume will happen in the future, that she's going to be the last thing that made real sense, or at least was knowable. Once you know the whole story of it, at least. Or at least the story of, this first part. I'm like, alright, let's see if I can do it again. Nope. Alright. It's simple, like, game mechanic and, like, learning how to play a game of you try and you learn the boundaries so you know where you can play within the space. Fairly common. I think it's sort of indicative of what games are, is trial and error and then exploring the space of which you can explore. What do you have to say?
Quiero.
What's that?
My Hero Academia?
Yeah, she's like one of my favorite characters too. I love Sue. She's my favorite. Me and Alex have a love affair with Invisible Girl.
Oh, I know.
My headcanon is that she was actually like a bigger girl, like she was thick, but obviously isn't the case.
Yeah, that kind of got thrown out when she actually put on a uniform for a change.
But our headcanon for the first bit was that she's super thick, and it was great. That concludes our tangent for the episode.
For now.
For now.
There'll be others, I'm sure.
Man, once I finally get to the climax of this section, I have a bit of a time. And I'm like, oh, she's gonna go, prep her kitchens to eat me. I gotta go find out what she's doing. I'm like, nope, get back here. Like, I know what's happening. I know what's going on. I'm like, nope, not gonna do it.
What I love about this particular room, it has a finite length.
Right.
You can't tell.
Oh, I know. It's really interesting that way. They don't give you a sense of motion. So you remember that concept of trial and error I was talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Get ready for the next 15 minutes of trial and error. This will go on for quite a bit because I am apparently bad at figuring out this game. I'm like, oh, great. Also, me being trash at that, too. I'm like, alright, here we go. Some of them I kind of get an idea for, most of them I don't. I'm like, okay, this ain't gonna work. I'm like, okay. I wonder, I was trying to open my items or something and I couldn't do it for some reason. I think it's because I couldn't do it in the room. I was like, okay, what's this toy knife about? So then I walk all the way to the save point and heal up and come back. And that's going to be a thing for a bit. Because I could not figure her out.
I will tell you some tricks once you're done. Once we're done with this, I will.
Works for me, but
I mean, obviously, it's after the fact either way, but I want to see what you go through.
Yeah.
Because I can already tell a couple of things about how this fight went.
Yeah. Huh. Why did I decide to do that?
I don't know. I've never
Why did
seen
I go
that.
To sleep again? What?
I've never seen that.
You're joking.
No.
Wow.
I've never seen
awesome.
that dialogue box. Ever.
That's amazing. Oh, that's the magic of the hyperbolic vibe chamber right there. That is so cool. I don't remember why I did that again. Oh, that's awesome.
Because at the point where she's standing at the doorway ready to destroy your only escape, my only focus was escaping.
Through.
So, of course I didn't think about running away and going back to bed.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't know why I did that. I'm like, alright, here we go. Let's try to figure this out again. So I go on the talk train for a bit. I'm like, maybe talking enough will do it. Nope. I'm like, what if I try sparing her? I'm like, alright, that didn't work. Nope. Nope. Time to heal up. Oh, yeah. So, this is me at my most gamer, I think. This is me like, okay, let's min-max this. Let's go in it with fresh bit of health. Try to learn as much as I can. And so it's a lot of this back and forth. And it's funny because around now I'm looking at the time, my recording time, like, all right, I want to get this around an hour. Like, I don't want to have this go on for too long. So I'm like, all right, I got about 20 minutes or so to figure this out. So, like, it's interesting how just even playing at this while recording with a sort of a time limit I was putting myself at kind of changes how I play it. Back in we go. So I said, let's try hitting her, see what happens. I hadn't done that yet. Like, well, okay. Ow. Ow. So bad at that. But I wanted to try to get a direct hit that time, which I do.
You do a fairly decent bit of damage for just having the stick. Nice dodge up until the end there.
Yeah, right? I started figuring out the rhythm of that one. Ow. And time to play again. I like how the soul just like walks out. Minutes of this. So, tell me how your first interaction with Toriel went.
You know, I don't really remember that much. Part of it is because it's been so long since my own playthrough. Part of it is because I've watched too many Let's Plays from Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and things like that. So,
right.
a lot of my first impressions have kind of been overwritten.
Sure. Were you ever suspicious of her like I was?
Kind of, not really.
To the extent?
There was some, okay, she's hiding something vibes.
See that I took those to the next progression of that, I think.
You know, I knew she was being insincere about something.
And I ate the pie like a dummy.
Yeah.
I did, yeah, that happens. Like, talking still doesn't work. Ow. I kind of realized that there was sort of a sweet spot there in the center, but I still could never really manage it. That always got me. And then I realized it's talking straight to me now, like, oh, okay, I shouldn't do that anymore. I assume there's a back door from most patterns in this game. Like, there's like a place you could just kind of sit that won't ever get touched, but I'm not good at seeing them. Yeah, I'm hitting like the... Okay, I got about 15 minutes to figure this out, Mark. I wish this walk wasn't so long.
This is your like, fourth attempt now?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah. I'm recording and going, this is gonna be a wonderful part. This is gonna be great to try to show people and talk over. So how long did it generally take for you to beat the game? Out of curiosity.
My first playthrough, I ended up getting the true pacifist ending. And I think my game clock is at 4.5, 5 hours.
Oh, that's not bad at all. This will be a tidy little, This is me figuring out, oh, I got the knife now. This will be a tidy little, Let's Play then. That'd be great. It won't be too hard to get through, and...
That was just one ending.
Sure, no, I understand that, but still. Like, it won't be hard to kind of... It won't take long to get through an actual playthrough of the game. Which is important, I think. Like, alright, I'm gonna give her a couple hits, see what I can do with it.
Yeah, the 199% run is down to under 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Maybe even lower, it's been a while since I looked.
I'm so bad at this. So I think it's around this time I'm starting to think, okay, I'm missing something.
You really are. You really, really are.
Mm-hmm. So it's either going to be...
And I want to just blurt it out, but I want to wait until we get to that point.
right? I think it's pretty soon here I start managing that. I think, do I go in for another run?
There's two main, like, plot pivotal points that you've been missing. Which I think you eventually figure out, but we'll get there.
Right. Oh man, I saw the screen for a good 20 minutes. So I'm trying to, like, checking again. I fat fingered that, I think. I almost got hit there. Trying again, seeing if I can do more damage. This one I kind of got better at dodging, but I'm still not really good at. I'm out of here again. And I was like, oh god, no. That was me taking a step in the wrong direction and immediately running. Going back to heal. I think those moments I would take weird pauses, I was looking at my phone. I think I might have been playing Magic Card Jump at the same time. I think I really might have, because this was getting repetitive.
This next fight, I'm going to go ahead and point out one of the bigger things. Because we're about getting to that point where we're nearing the end of the recording.
We got a little bit left to go.
Oh, well, we got a lot left to go, but...
This is me realizing, okay, I'm missing something. So this is me looking for anything I might have missed.
Which is funny, because earlier on in the ruins, you actually get a clue as to specifically what you're supposed to do.
Right?
And whether or not you've rediscovered that clue during this, revisiting, maybe not, I don't know.
Just completely negating any healing I might get. I wonder if I, do the dinner on both first and then mercy them. I wonder if that yields anything different. I hadn't tried that.
Not necessarily different, but definitely a little easier.
Fair enough.
It takes one round out of the equation completely.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm like, alright, what am I missing here?
Yeah, there's a clue earlier
and this is what I found. I'm like, oh, okay. I found a thing. And I'm like, oh, armor, perfect. That means I can try to, survive a bit longer. And honestly, that's it. I don't remember if I did anything else differently after this.
No, it looks like you completely missed what it was that would have helped the most.
Wonderful. That sounds about right. So I was essentially doing the Naruto way of doing this, which is literally throwing myself at it until it works.
Yeah, that is the wrong way to to get through some of these fights.
Oh, I learned that. Because I come to the realization once I think I might have a couple, maybe one or two more cycles. But I think I come to that realization pretty quickly, especially after I get the ribbon.
Now, I
hit the wrong thing and I got really scared.
The irony is that because you picked up and equipped the ribbon, what I was planning on saying may or may not be necessarily valid.
Right.
But I'm still going to go ahead and say it anyways.
Right.
Because I don't recall what that ribbon changed. I mean, obviously your defense went higher, but
it honestly, that's the only change that affected me specifically. Was okay. I noticed I could take a few more hits, which meant I could explore a little bit more of her patterns. I could try and do different things. Mm-hmm. And specifically, there's something I tried to do in these next few runs. Because that's something I had remembered from earlier. So here we go again, once more into the breach.
Literally.
Thank you, Magic Arc Jump. Stupid thing. So I wonder if this is the first run where I try it. Yeah, like maybe if I push talk, it'll work.
Now, when you get hit, pay attention. You lost 2 points.
Yep.
And I was right in that having the ribbon does significantly change what I was planning on pointing out. Because the first time you were taking 4 points of damage each time.
Right.
And then
I had noticed that.
And then, as you were getting lower and lower,
I didn't notice that.
You were taking less damage.
Trust me, I make that realization. I start to figure it out, but I made it far more attrition-y because I had the ribbon. I'm like, all right, now I can. I also ate the donut. Yup.
Now, granted, it still benefits you, but actually having the donut would be the best case scenario.
That's right. Like, it's a really good thing you got that donut. I'm like, yeah, maybe not so much. Because this is me, like, okay, really pushing for it. Like, I gotta figure this out. Especially, this was me getting desperate, actually, because I didn't want to take too much time. So there's that bias right then and there. I think I was going for, at one point, a ribbit says, sometimes if you damage them enough, they won't want to fight anymore. I was trying that.
Now, it's funny that you mentioned that, because in that room is the main clue.
That's the first room, isn't it?
Ish.
That's the first save point, though. I think it's the first save room. Once again, me trying to push it. Me trying to, like, get as much out of it as I can. I'm like, alright, this is where I go for the damage her as low as I can get her and see what happens. And just getting nailed every time because I'm terrible at this game.
See, and the part that's hilarious is that you were right on the threshold of...
Yup. I am. And I run.
And, like, literally, 2 more points of damage. 2 more points of damage. That's all you needed.
And that idea is starting to manifest around now. I'm getting the idea of, maybe I'm gaming this too hard. And Magic Arc Jump.
Like, if you were to go back into that fight without healing...
Right now. Yep. And Magic Arc Jump. Those are all moments where I'm like... I was super into the game at that point. But yeah, I think I'm starting to make the realization, and then I start to feel dumb. Because I'm overthinking it. I'm overgaming it. I'm like, there's got to be like a mechanical fix to this.
And there's
something mechanically I'm missing. And yeah,
and there was.
But I didn't realize... This is when I start to realize how integrated the mechanics and the narrative are. And the interesting, crazy part is that this isn't foreign. There are plenty of games that have very similar situations to this.
Now, one of the things about the first attack that I don't think you picked up on The fire hit you, you take damage. Her hand hit you, and she stopped.
Oh, I never noticed that.
She'll throw fire at you all day long, but as soon as she hits you,
she stops. I think I realize what's going on. That's when I realized it. I'm like, it's getting slower.
There.
Do I do... Oh my god.
Oh! Why?
Yep.
You were there.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep. And I didn't realize it.
Ah!
And I didn't realize it. This is why I felt so dumb. I felt super duper dumb.
You were
right then.
there.
I'm like, do I have to read something? I think I explore a bit or something. Yeah, I go exploring. I'm like, what am I missing? Like, I've got to be missing something now.
Like, you were standing at the finish line, and you just walked away.
Yep. Because I was gaming it too much. I didn't... You know what happened? I think at the beginning of the game, it says if you go to 0 life points, you die.
Yeah.
Which is standard, which is way normal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was worried about. That's what I was concentrating on. I didn't want to die. And I was like, I'm just going to lose if she keeps hitting me. I thought maybe I could pick one of those up and use it as a weapon. And Magikarp jump.
There are so many like little bits and pieces that I want to point out, but I can't because you haven't quite gotten to the point where that matters. And if I tell you now, it's completely going to ruin a lot of suspense.
Oh yeah, I believe that. That's the fun thing about recording this after the fact, is that there's things that you know are coming up in the future that I don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of dramatic irony on your part here.
Oh yeah,
what it is.
Like me being completely frustrated at the fact that you could have finished this about 4 or 5 fights ago.
Yeah. So I think this is the last run. I think I figure it out here. Right away, I think I'm still going for the fight her until something happens.
Fight her to
maneuver.
death.
Not even to death, but like to try to trigger a mercy or something.
An end scene.
Cause I hadn't figured it out. You know what it is? I'm trying to do to her what she's doing to me, and I didn't realize it. I'm trying to get her low enough where she stops. I never realized that hand thing though. That blows me away.
Yeah, like I said, she'll hit you with fire all day long. But as soon as she hits you...
Man, that fire stuff is terrible for me. I'm so bad at it.
I mean, and that's the thing. Those, like, very, very small details are so huge for the narrative.
Once again, this is when I'm going to go into the next time I record knowing that mechanics and narrative are super important.
You've just figured it out. You didn't move and you never got touched.
There are sweet spots. Oh my god.
Son of a...
I felt so dumb. And looking back on everything, I'm like, I probably ruined so many different experiences because I was dumb. Because I couldn't figure it out and I gamed it too hard. And I'm still gaming it to this point.
Yeah.
I'm trying everything now. At this point, I realized I have to go for it, because I'm over an hour now. I'm like, I have to figure it out. And then, here's when I figured out, I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I get it. I just figured it out then. I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, no.
Oh.
And then I ruin it, don't I?
Oh, no.
Yep. There it is.
I can't believe you did that.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it goes bad quick.
Oh my god.
Yep. And the best part is I was happy. I was happy because I finally got past it.
Oh,
I had spent 20 minutes grinding this out, and I was finally past it. And I kill her. And looking back on it now, I feel so dumb and terrible. Welcome to my playthrough of Undertale.
Oh my god.
I'm like, okay.
There's two major things that I need to point out. One, you never called her on the phone.
Did you? I didn't think you could.
And in that conversation, you call her mom.
Ugh. I didn't know you could call her. I had no idea. I love the evil art for Flowey, by the way. Yeah.
The second point of information that you missed, even though you read it, in the room with the three frogs where they're talking about saving and mercy and all of that, there was a frog that said sometimes you have to spare them even when their name isn't yellow.
Yep.
Welcome to Undertale.
Undertale. So there's this gameplay here is me looking for the nearest save point. Because I know I'm well over an hour, so I'm trying to wrap it up now. And I'm sure it introduces one of the of any of the characters I know from Undertale, he's introduced here. I assume probably one of the well-beloved or well-known characters in this whole game is introduced here. For reasons I only assume I'm going to find out. And man, this made me think of you, too.
Really?
Yeah. You don't see why?
No, I know why. Well, I mean, I imagine I know why, but...
I know, you just don't see this too often. And so when you do, it always just... I think of you. I love the animation, just like that. I like this guy. I do like this guy.
Sans is a character.
Yeah, he is.
Now, I don't know if you figured this out or not, but Sans' font is Comic Sans.
I couldn't tell through that, but that doesn't... It makes complete sense now. But yeah, he's a dope, and the other ones, you know... And Papyrus is crazy, and they're brothers, and I just think of us.
And Papyrus's font is Papyrus?
Papyrus. Of course it is. No, I love the idea of a brother just messing with his other brother because he can. And it just reminds me of us. It does. Like, one's most assuredly just over the top, and the other one's just ridiculous. The other one knows his brother's ridiculous and just is messing with him because he can.
You know, honestly, I hadn't thought about that, you know, the relationship between Sans and Papyrus and comparing it to you and I until you said something just now.
Right?
Yeah,
no, I immediately thought of you. And not that we fit these archetypes perfectly, but...
But it fits.
It does. It really does. I don't like. Oh, okay.
Skeleton.
I'm like, here it is. Of course they do it, because you have to.
Oh, I hate you so much right now.
Because we all know which one of us makes puns a lot.
No, that's not even why I hate you.
Why?
Because you killed Goat Mom.
Yes, I did. I did. And I didn't even mean to. I didn't know it was gonna do it. I just thought...
Yeah,
I thought...
Well, and it makes sense. You went from, 10, 20, 30 damage to 350.
Yep. And this also reminds me of us. Where, like, it's weird, but we care, too. There's a bit of caring there. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's it. The recording's gonna end here pretty soon, so we can wrap it up a bit. That's the first part of Undertale, and hopefully
Welcome to episode 1.
Welcome to episode 1.
Stay tuned.
We'll, stay tuned.